Welcome, everybody, to Let's Go Pulling. My name is Jason Schultz, Charles Posch, Larry Richwine, Ryan Rusink in the house tonight. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, we're going to talk to Dirk Drury from the Highland, Wisconsin Badger State Pull at about 8:15 or 15 after the hour. Then 8:30, Ken Summers and Ron Cordes is going to come on and talk about the 4-1 trifecta shootout in Concordia, Missouri, kind of leading into Buckner, Missouri. Then we're going to recap the weekend again with everybody. And then 9 p.m., Brett Besser, I believe. Ryan, that's Mary Besser's husband that has the light pro that sings that ship. Charles knows her. They have Ogilvie, Minnesota. All three of these polls are coming up this Saturday, the 26th. I just want to, first of all, Ryan, thank you. I know you had something to do with getting 1320 at Wisner. So thank you very much for that, because that is so cool of a crossover. I can't wait to see their videos that they made. I got the chance to talk to one of them, but I know you and Cody hung out with them all day and took care of that. So thank you so much for doing that. So, Mr.
I'm
Pull,
a bit jealous you got to hang with Woody and Fred.
Did anybody go meet Mr. Pulltown Nut, Charles? Did you go find him at his campsite?
I did not. I tried to get to as many people as I did throughout the course of 4 hours on Friday night, and I didn't see as many people as I wanted to, but I saw plenty. And he was not one of them. I did not venture into North Side.
Okay. Larry, did you find Mr. Pulltown Nut by any chance?
I drove by his site, but I don't know whether he was asleep under it or around it or where, but nobody was there when I went by.
Oh, I love it. But he said still alive after 700 cans, countless jello shots, moonshine hits, etc. Good deal. He also said got to meet OJ and some of the full pull guys, which makes me, the full pull games for this week are going to be Wellington, Ohio, which is NTPA, right, Larry?
Yes, it is.
And then Madison, South Dakota, Nebraska State Fair for the Outlaws. That's Saturday and Sunday. So I'll be out at those events with the Outlaws for Outlaw Pulling TV. Russ Dostal said Pierce, Nebraska, still 92 degrees. At 4 o'clock on Saturday, the heat index was 118 in Wisner, Nebraska. As we started a 7-hour marathon of 200 hooks on 2 tracks. It was stupid. It was insane hot. And still the crowd came out. It wasn't as big as crowd they've had in the past, but a lot of people still came out in that heat. So, and Ryan was there to enjoy it with me and Cody. So it was not cool. Andy Leonard says watching from Folsomdale, Kentucky, resting from a trip to Bowling Green. Todd Gillian says Fremont, Michigan. Great to see you guys tonight. What a week of pulling. So yeah, Larry, Charles, Ryan, talk about your weekend.
Yes,
I'll go ahead.
somebody else go first.
Bruce, you have to go first.
Ryan, it's up to you, man.
All right. Wisner was hot. It was really hot. It was perfect on Thursday night. Although I've got to say, I question the idea of whether or not Thursday was a great call for a third session. Even with the volunteer staff, the crowd was pretty thin. I'm not sure that anybody made any money that day. Friday night, great show. Great competition. Saturday was just hot as balls. And you know, we had Fred and Whitty with us from 1320. That was lots of fun. It's been a long time since I've gotten to work with Fred and Whitty. But you know, he reached out and said, "Hey, we're going to Thunder by the River. Are you?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And so we got to talking, and we lined up a few interviews for him, and kind of tried to choose some interesting vehicles, and we got predictable reactions, some of which we never got on camera, and that was Cody's and my fault. Because when Fred saw the American ethanol truck, he said a combination of words that made me laugh.
Can you say them on Let's Go Pulling, Ryan?
Maybe the way after dark.
I can only imagine the bleeps that would be on their channel with that one.
There were some bleeps, but suffice it to say, they thought it was awesome. While I'm thinking of it, I would also like to thank all of the people who were in those interviews. Thank you all. I know we caught some of you off guard, and I know some of you were nervous. Special shout out to Scotty Jensen, who, even though he was nervous as all hell, got out and realized that Whitty and Fred are just a couple of gearheads just like he is. And, and granted, those guys have figured out how to lead questions like that, and they can lead an interview like nobody's business, and they can condense it down to 2 to 3 minutes, and it works great. It's a format I wish we could do a better job of in what we do with pulling media in general. I would like to see us follow more vehicles, more teams through a weekend or through a day. And for those of you who've watched 1320 videos before, that's kind of their secret sauce, or that's part of their secret sauce. They get to know you, and you tell them, about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and yada yada yada, and they stick with you for the day. And
yeah, I could tell, Ryan, the people that they must have interviewed out there earlier in the pits, because I saw them come running. I don't know all their names like you do, but the one guy had the little scooter, the tall, skinny kid. He'd come whipping up there and make sure he didn't get in front of our Outlaw TV cameras, and he was super nice. And then he would shoot the vehicle, then he'd be gone again. So
Do we dare bury the lead a little bit and discuss what Scott's reaction was to the thing he did?
No, we're going to bury that. We're going to let the video.
All right.
We're going to let them tell that story.
Okay, I'm good with that.
I don't know a lot about 1320. I just know them because Roos has talked about them in the past on past shows, and obviously Ryan's my friend. I follow him on social media, and then he'll comment. I know they were in Iowa shooting some truck stuff a year or two ago on some county road, and I saw Ryan comment on it. But so they have 3.39 million subscribers on YouTube, which is insane. For those of you, I just put their link in the YouTube or in our chat off the side. So if you go subscribe to them and watch, it's a lot of racing content. So I'm excited as a pulling media person with all of us on the show right now, and everybody watching. Adam Wilson's watching, and everybody else. It's neat because that's going to show truck and tractor pulling to a big audience, just like that guy last year, that really smart, like professor dude, Charles, that did the
Smarter Every Day.
He did something about truck and tractor pulling, and it was really neat. And that got a lot of views. I mean, hundreds of thousands of views. I think millions probably.
1320 does a good job. I've had Fred interview me in the past.
So,
they do.
I can't wait to watch that. And to Ryan's point, I'm going to sit down with my team and take a look at the secret sauce a little bit. But you got to be devoted to your craft that day. Like, it's hard because my ADD, I want to chase every squirrel that runs by me, and it's hard. But they take a team in there. They do a good job with that. So it's pretty neat. So
yeah, and they did it with only 2. It was cool, and it was neat to watch them work as kind of a well-oiled machine. Both of them knew what they needed to do. Both of them knew what roles they needed to fill.
They use radios where I don't see anybody else does. They talk to each other constantly and are producing on the fly amongst each other.
Yep, and that was neat to watch. So
that was neat to watch.
No, Kurt has no idea what landed in his lap when he took that call from Fred.
Well, he called me right away, and I said, well, first of all, Roos has something to do with this, so this is okay. And I just said, get it done. And then one of them come flying up on his little scooter, and I gave him a couple of media passes Saturday morning because it was neat. If promoters ever get a chance to do this, the Western Iowa Garden Tractor Pullers put on a show, like a 2-hour show Saturday morning, like at 8:30, because the Outlaw Pull was at 4 that night. And for them to get to pull on the Wisner track, and it was funny, all the pullers that had stayed up too late, all of a sudden they started rolling out their toters about 9:30, and a bunch of them were by the track. And it was really neat to do that. So and then they didn't have to have the track crew out there or anything like that. It was good. They brought their own little scraper and their own little water wagon, and it was neat to see the Garden Tractor Pullers out there, on the Wisner track like that. So it's pretty neat. So, hey, Larry, before we start talking to Dirk from Highland, and this is a good segue, and thanks again, Ryan and Cody. I know Cody's not feeling well tonight, he said, but for really hosting the 1320 guys, that's so good for our sport. Dirk and Larry obviously are tech officials. There's a comment in here. with the 2 mini rod incidents from Bowling Green, do you think that the Hans device will ever be put into place, Larry or Dirk? And I know Dirk, you're not around minis as much as Larry is, but is that the NASCAR thing that they sit their
I
head
don't-
back in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indy and NASCAR, yeah, they wear the Hans device. I don't think it'll be mandated. I mean, we got the neck collar or a Hans device is required now, NTPA, but a lot of them are going to the Hans device on their own because they're seeing accidents like this. But I don't think it'll be mandated for at least a season or two, if then.
And
I
to
think
be
Chase-
to be to be totally truthful about what happened, Ty Miller and Andy Corporal both had lateral head bracing in their roll cage, and Andy Corporal was knocked out, wore a Hans device. So
I think Chase has one in his mini rod. I feel like he has something extra. I've watched him strap in before and sits in into the vibrator. I think, Charles. I don't know.
yeah, I think he does too. There's not everybody, but a lot of them do have the ISP lateral head support padding in there. What's the next step? Is it the padded seats? I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Well, and neither one of the two guys that crashed this weekend had it, but they're learning that the pool noodle type material you put around a water heater is not good. It'll bounce, and the SFI foam is so dense. If you put it in the cage, it's made for a cage. It absorbs a lot of shock. It's like the inside of a good helmet as opposed to the inside of a SafeRacer.com helmet. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? Anyway, but yeah, I've said it. I've said it since day one. If you got a $2 head, wear a $2 helmet. You know.
That's what we love about you, Larry. You just say it like it is. So.
Well, and the first helmet my kid wore garden tractor pulling, it was a Bell, but I give $5 for it at a garage sale.
Ding.
Ding.
Dang.
Yeah, Jason, I think, Jason, and I don't want to take too much time away from Dirk, but Jason, if you're a garden tractor puller, go to some of these bigger venues that are close to your house. Say, hey, we'll come in, we'll put on a show in the morning for free. We'll clean up our own track. Don't be afraid of that. That's a great way to get exposure. And then they came in, they parked back in the cottonwood trees, and they were out of there. I mean, they were told they had to be done by 11, and they did a great job. They were lined up, and it was neat. It was kind of fun for the pullers to come out and watch that. And for those little kids and some of those adults that got to drive a garden tractor, that was neat for them to say, I got to pull at Western Nebraska at Thunder by the River. So,
What about the ones who drove it out of bounds?
There
That
are
was
people
a
that went out
bonus
about.
for them. They learned what not to do. You got to lean the other way.
Didn't you drive it out of bounds, Jason?
I kept it in bounds, Ryan.
Oh, I thought you drove it out of bounds.
Nope, I would own it if I did. I did lean. When it was going left, I looked down at my right foot and I was on a throttle
You
instead
leaned.
of pedals. I leaned the wrong way on the seat, and then I got yanked to the left. But
It's not a garden tractor, for Christ's sakes.
What is it?
Strap in harder and use the pedals. No, don't lean.
There was no pedals, Charles. It was a garden tractor. It was a garden tractor.
You are actually talking about a garden tractor.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he was actually talking about a garden tractor.
I drove a
He
little.
was He was in a full John Deere fire suit and helmet and everything. He was funny.
Okay. Connection. Sorry. Now I get where that photo came from.
They made me wear John Deere gloves and everything, and I was on a little 1050 V twin 103 horsepower one. It zoomed. It about 12,000 RPM off the line.
They'll run around. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'm too stupid.
No,
I'm strapped tight looking for brake pedals. I'm an idiot.
No, I looked for brake pedals, Charles, and I went, oh, I need to lean, and then I leaned the wrong way. I leaned left instead of leaning right. So
I know a kid that had a 100 horse gas turbine on a Jet Cadet, and he had individual brakes. It was my kid, but he also had a roll cage. When we first unloaded it out of the trailer, everybody goes, "Oh my God! Now Richwine's going to want roll cages on all these garden tractors." I wasn't there to impose anything. I was just trying to save my own kid. But the only thing Cub Cadet about it was sheet metal. Everything else was custom built 9-inch Ford and everything else. But I mean, he had steering brakes and he had a hand throttle.
I'll have to plug in my external hard drive, Larry. I might have video of this somewhere. I'm going to look.
100 horse gas turbine, yeah.
I might have that.
I need to see video of this. Dirk Drury,
I'm
I
gonna
know we
look.
just had you on the Badger State show. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
Great to see you. Great to see you. Ryan Rusink is with us, Charles Posch, Larry Richline, and me. Let's talk Highland, Wisconsin this Saturday, buddy. Badger State tractor pullers.
Yes, going to be a good event. Hopefully, we can get some good weather for once. Last 2 years, we've had to deal with well, 1 year it was 8 inches of rain 3 nights before the show, and last year was 6 inches of rain the night before the show. So, got a bunch of guys. We're working on the track right now. It's going to be a good track, hopefully, and hopefully we get a good crowd.
I would
It's
agree.
a
So,
pull
Bruce,
that basically started from nothing and has grown every year.
Bruce, you've been to Highland. You've shot there, right?
I was there the year they had the 8 inches of rain, and they still put on a hell of a show.
Yep. So, what I love, and again, I talked about this on the Badger State show down and dirty with the Badger State tractor pullers, which I want to thank Larry Richwine for coming on to the Badger State show because I sent you guys all the wrong link. And I'm like, oh, wow, Larry's on the Badger State show. And immediately my mind went, oh, all my guys got the Badger State show link. So I was like, dang it. So anyway, it's all good. It's all good. I think it's cool, Dirk, that you only charge $10 to get in. You have 466 hot farms, super farm tractors, light pro stock tractors, 4.1 limited pro stock tractors, 2-wheel drive trucks, and pro stock tractors, and you only charge $10 to get in. I know that the first year you had Badger State, sorta, right? Because it was the COVID year. I think, what did you say? You had 4,000 wristbands and they were gone by 5 o'clock. That place was so full of people, bud.
Yes, and they were parking. We're about a mile out of town. I swear they were parked halfway to town.
Yep.
I never really got to see a whole lot of it. I just was running around trying to get all the ducks in order there and trying to get everybody, because I didn't think it would turn into what it did, but it ended up to be a great event. And Greg told me, wow, that was a pretty good pull, but you'll never pull that off again. And that sticks right in my back. And I'm like, okay, watch me.
That's awesome. Yeah, Russ, holy crap, $10 to see the Womp Womp tractors as a bargain. I need to move to Wisconsin. Yeah. It's an awesome deal. Badger State tractor pullers are awesome. They put on a great show everywhere they go, and they have some of the best pro stocks around. Some of the pro stocks are a little wounded right now, though, Dirk. Parts are tough to come by everywhere. So
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to have 8 to 10. I mean, they had a week, so hoping to have 8 to 10. I really would have liked to seen the Kloss make his return there because it was the debut for it last year, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen either. So, but we're going to have a Fent, I'm pretty sure.
Mr. Ladwig's coming.
Yep.
I think the Fent, did Craig, he went out to BG, didn't he? Larry, was the
Yes,
Fent
he
pro
did.
out there? Okay. I haven't had a chance to look at all the results yet. But I did see a picture on my Facebook feed of him out there. So there was 48 pro stocks in Bowling Green. So
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Every big pro in the country was there basically. Is there, I think a couple 5-0 guys jumped in, right, Charles? Somebody told me.
There were 2 or 3 5.0s and 2 4.1s.
2 4-1s jumped in the pro stock class?
Yeah,
Yes, and you know
who
exactly who they are.
Oh,
You know exactly who they are.
Bousmas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
went
get 2
there.
guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
That would be the last two or three places in the finishing results. Yeah.
Yeah, I can figure that. Yeah, they like
Well, actually no, because things
No.
didn't go well.
Oh well. But a 4-1 against a 6-inch Charger, you really don't have much of a chance. I don't think, does it?
no, I don't think it's
And a
supposed
cat
to.
chassis.
As long as you outlast the carnage, I mean, you're fine.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you can outlast,
Well, yeah.
outlast works. That's a strategy.
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
wouldn't it be
I like
heck to go to Bowling Green and tell your buddies, hey, I'm going to Bowling Green, and you go back home and they say, how far'd you go? Went 337 feet. What'd you get? 46th place. I mean, you just don't add. I got 46th place.
Yeah. No, yeah. You just say I
mean,
was there.
seriously.
I was competitive. I love it. Dirk, so let's talk about some of your sponsors that make this event happen. It's you said there's 107 sponsors you have for this event?
Yes, and Their sponsors, we have the platinum, the gold, the silver, and the bronze category, and it's anything from $100 to the bronze all the way up to $1,000 sponsors for the platinum. And like I said, we got 4 guys up there, and I'm probably missing a bunch too. But you take Dave Gates and Brandon Bodenstein and Don Poppy and his son Ryan. They go out and get the major part of these sponsors, and they run their ass off to get these sponsors. And you cannot put on a pull without sponsors. It just don't work. And we're very lucky we got a community that loves pulling.
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, you do. And the Badger State is very, very well known. Well, honestly, all over the Midwest for sure, but in Wisconsin for sure. For Highland to have a Badger State show like that, they're pretty excited. This is where Ryan asked some of his cool promoter questions, Dirk. So pay attention. So.
Oh, this must mean I'm supposed to ask one.
You're pretty quick.
You've already talked about your biggest hurdles. Well, 2 of your biggest hurdles, and those being weather. What are other hurdles that you guys have had to deal with aside from weather and pandemic? Because I know pandemic made life interesting for everybody, but have there been any other things that have been tough to deal with that you guys have, kind of overcome? And if so, how'd you do it?
Fan parking. We got plenty of room for the pullers parking, but actually we got a neighbor right next. It's a mile out of town. It's a rodeo grounds out in the outside of town, about a mile. And it actually used to be a sewer plant, or your sewer pits, your lagoons. And once they got full, they closed them all in and threw some dirt on it, seeded it down, leveled this 10-acre area off, and now it's a rodeo ground / pulling track. So the rodeo grounds is separate. The pulling track is right next to the rodeo grounds, and nobody is allowed from the rodeo on the pulling track. So there's no horses or trucks or anything parked there during the rodeo. So we put a lot of work in that track, and it's paid off, but we want it, like I said, there's no such thing as too good a pulling track. That's why we have pro stocks there, and our main goal there is to keep the pro stocks there. And in order to do that, you got to have a good track. You can't have a questionable track, and the pro stocks won't come back.
I agree.
The other challenge I've got is the right track equipment and the people to run them the entire show. There's a lot of guys that want to take a break, or I want to go watch the pull now, and it's really hard to get somebody to stay in a roller or a packer or a scraper or a skid loader for 3-4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming.
If there's one thing that you could change about the event, what would you do? Sky's the limit.
More seating, and it's something that we're doing every year. We're buying bleachers here and there every other year, where we borrow some of the high schools at their football field and we bring them down there. But if we could have some permanent bleachers there, that's probably our next goal. We put up a bunch of lighting last year, so that's coming.
Word to the wise. Keep in touch with your local community colleges or any schools that have athletic programs. When they redo facilities, they get rid of bleachers. Oftentimes they get rid of them pretty cheap.
Correct. And that's another thing that I like about the Highland Pull is we give a lot back to our community, our fire department, our ambulance crew, the Lions Club. They all come and help with the pole, either serve food or park people or things like that. And we give a lot of money back to the community, which helps a lot, so that the community is involved and you don't have anybody pretty much complaining about what's going on out there, because it does benefit the community a lot. And
Yep.
I tell we've got a board, we've got, and they're young guys, and I tell them, we don't need a big bank account. I said, there's no reason to have a bunch of money in this account. We need to spend it or give it away, because that takes care of all the naysayers in town wondering where we're getting all this money from and where we're spending it. But if you give it to a fire department, an ambulance crew, or whatever, then it pretty much silences that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And the $10 to get in, if you spend $10 to get in, you're going to buy a lot more beer. And once you buy so many beers, you just keep buying. And I don't want a family of four to come in there to drop $100 and, well, now what, we can't afford to buy a burger or nothing, and
Yep.
That's kind of our philosophy. I'm sure next year, the way the economy is right now, it might go up, but I've had a lot of promoters ask why only $10. Well, that's why we're trying to make it in the beer tent rather than at the gate. Because if you have a pull where you don't have a beer tent and expect to pay for the pull at the gate, you don't belong having a pull.
That's tough to do.
Yep.
That is tough to do, Dirk. Do you guys do you do any band or anything like that, or live entertainment afterwards, Dirk?
We've had band before. Most of the time my son, he's got some DJ equipment and he sets up speakers and he'll play music till 2:00 in the morning or whatever. But it's come from humble beginnings. I remember the first year when they asked me to come down there and help, the poll got over with, and I'm standing there having a beer at the beer tent, and I look out on the pulling track, and here's 2 4-wheel drive trucks, hook, log, chain, bumper to bumper, with about 3 guys in the back of each pickup. And I said, okay, I'm out of here. I don't want to be associated with this, because I can't be involved in something like that.
No, that would be bad. That would be bad. Well, Dirk, thanks for coming on. Let's Grow Pulling tonight. Good luck in Highland this weekend. The weather looks fantastic. I hope it stays dry. Well, we need rain, but I hope it stays dry for your pull. I hope it stays in the 70s like they're talking. After we're supposed to have 100 degrees, I think, Wednesday or Thursday this week, right, up here? So.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Dirk. See you, buddy.
You bet.
See you, buddy.
Dirk Drury, he's the main tech official and also the vice president, I'm pretty sure, of the Badger State Tractor Pullers as well. So we're going to switch gears. We're going to go south. We're going to go to Concordia, Missouri. I got Brad Summers and Ron Cordes on with me. I'm going to find their banner. I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm going to bring these guys on. This would be MSTPA, Missouri State Tractor Pulling Association, and it's also part of the 4-1 trifecta shootout that Ken Summers has something to do with as well. This is stop 2 for the 4-1s. The first one would have been at Platte City, Missouri for the 4-1s. Now Concordia stop 2. And this is fun because it combined both associations with the Outlaws and MSTPA to encourage some back and forth a little bit. And then the third stop will be in Buckner, Missouri, September 8th. So Ron, Brad, how are you guys tonight?
Good, doing good.
Good to see both of you. Good to see both of you. So it's poll week. So we got let's see. Are these all MSTPA guys classes, or some of them not MSTPA? As I read these off,
TPA on one side, and then we're pulling some regular old farm stock.
Okay, that makes sense, Rob. That makes sense. So the stuff on the left side, like the light mod, light pro field, those are all your MSTPA classes, and then the stuff on the right side of the poster are your local. So
we got 9 classes MST.
Okay, cool. And then it looks like, I'm assuming you're running 2 tracks then?
Yes, that's correct. We'll be running 2 X Factor sleds.
I should change my banner on the bottom. That was bad. I'm a bad producer there. Sorry about that, guys. So, well, let's talk. How long has this event been going on? Talk about some of your sponsors.
So So any which way, Jason, we've had pools out of Concordia, probably the 80s. But this is our first time we're going to a bigger pool. It's always been more of the brush pullers type pools. And we're stepping up this year, and we're doing this memorial for Jim Stork. Always a goal. A good friend of mine that we could bump up someday, go to a good, more blowing type pool that will still keep some of the locals involved.
Oh, that's great. And then did Jimmy, did he die of old age? Or I'm not trying to be mean. Did he die of old age or have a bad car accident? What happened?
He suddenly, but he was a farmer in Concordia area. He was a
Okay.
black, built all kinds of stuff. I'm going to talk about it in memorial again there on the part we're doing at 5:30 that night. Back in the 70s, pulled mini rod, and actually built a mini rod sled and pulled it all. I'd say within Concordia, 150-mile radius. All started a bunch of guys sitting in the bar one time, decided to build a mini Missouri State Fair. Built one we called the 7 Day Wonder. That would have been like 75.
Hey, are you guys on Wi-Fi or are you on your regular cell phone service? Because you're breaking up a little bit, Ron.
Regular cell phone.
Okay. Do you have Wi-Fi in the house?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is he breaking up on everybody's end or just mine?
No, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's breaking up.
Okay. I just want to make sure we get everything out here. Got joined with Ron and Brad from Concordia, Missouri, this Saturday, August 26th. On the poster that you see on the screen there, fans, on the left side are your MSTPA classes: light mod, light pro fields, light limited supers, pro fields, 4-1 pro stock tractors. And again, this is the second leg of the 4.1 trifecta shootout that Ken Summers is behind. Hot stock, 2-wheel drive, pro stock 4x4 trucks, 2.6 pro street. And then on the right side, some of their local classes as well, their farm stock. So we'll be running 2 tracks. How much does it go? $15 admission, 5 and under free. Memorials at 5:30, pull at 6 p.m. Brad, are you the president of MSTPA? I can't remember your exact title.
Yep. This is my fourth year being president. Actually, Ron come to us 20 COVID, and said he'd like to get an full Concordia. And so it's taken us this long to get a date to get him worked into our schedule. And we're looking forward to coming to Concordia. I pulled a lot of years at Concordia with brush pullers and back in the day. So it's a beautiful facility. It's out by a city lake. Weather's going to be fantastic. We're going to cool back down into the 80s, which seems like the 60s. That's been in the 100s all week. So it's a great facility. It's going to be a great show. They definitely need to come out and support this poll.
Yep, no, that's great. I know they're breaking up a little bit, and we're sorry for that, guys. But I think we can get the gist of what's going on with them. Again, some of the sponsors, it looks like Remax Central. Who's that Concordia? That top one, Ron, on your poster? Concordia Masonry, is that what that says?
No, we got about 10 big sponsors that helped us out. And, probably 55 total sponsors.
Awesome.
But put our big sponsors on the flyer.
Yeah, I zoomed in. It's Concordia, Missouri Tourism Committee, Remax
Yes.
Central, Cat Excavation, Wheeler Auctions and Real Estate, DeKalb, the Emma Civic Club, Myers Motor, looks like a Ford dealer in Concordia, Tri-County Seed, Ag Power, and then Coltrane Energy. So good
Correct.
stuff here.
There's a couple more that stepped up and did the flyer.
So, well,
Or Sweet Spring, Missouri. And so we've had some pretty good sponsors. So make much small town, about 35 a group to pull this off.
okay. Well, you guys are really breaking up, so I'm going to let you go because I don't want to. We're not getting it out there. But Ron, if there's anything that you want me to say, will you just text it to me, and I'll be sure to tell the audience. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Ron. They're just really breaking up, guys. I'm sorry. So
I gotta wonder if that has to do with the settings with the echo cancellation. I kind of wonder
I think-
if that's screwing with their mic.
I feel like it was more than that, but I'm not 100%. I sure could have been. So it sure could have been, because Brad and Ron are both good dudes, and it's good to have them on the night. But again, for those of you, well, I don't know, where is Ron or Ryan? Where's Concordia at in elevation?
That's a very good question for somebody who's got a accessible browser and can Google it,
I'm looking.
which
right
isn't
now.
me.
That's fine. Give me 1 second, guys.
Sounds like, hey Siri, where's this at? Yeah.
Right.
Mine-
Being that they're
I just lit up. I shouldn't have said it. Oh my goodness. Now she don't know what to do. Oh, I hate it when I do that.
Who's Siri?
Maybe Ken Summers can come on. And we were losing Ron and Brad there a little bit. Ken, can you hear us okay? Their signal was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I just
Well, let's
I
talk
forgot all
about,
about you guys.
yeah, we're used to that, Summers. Don't feel bad. So
Sorry.
We
can
went to
you
the-
it looks like Concordia is just straight east of Kansas City, maybe 30 miles is all right off of 70.
Yeah, it's really close there. It's good to get to. They got a great facility. They got it's right by the city lake, kind of up on a hill. It should be nice and should have a breeze. It'll be a great place. We pulled there back when we were brush pulling all the time, and
Okay.
yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah,
It sounds like it's been a big brush pull in the past, and they stepped it up by adding MSTPA this year. I think that's what Ron or Brad said. Does that sound right, Ken?
yeah, that's true. They've been wanting to. Ron Cortez and Brad, they've all worked really hard trying to get the everybody in the community to get on board to do something with the brush pull, and they've got that done, and they've got a lot of sponsorship, got a lot of things funded, and then they wanted to add the 4-1 class, and they was able to get that done. And I don't think the payout, I think it's $3,500, I think, but then that'll be the second stop on our trifecta tour. So hopefully we can get a few 4-1s there, and ought to be a really good time. I know it'll be a good track.
So this is like, besides Buckner, this is like a hometown pull for you then, right?
It is, yeah. It's pretty nice when you're less than an hour from the house, you know.
Yep. For sure. Again, they're MSTPA classes fans. And if you're going down to this Saturday night, please type in the comments, or if you've been to Concordia before. Light mods, light pro fields, light limited super stocks, pro field tractors, 4-1 pro stocks. Obviously, that's part of the trifecta shootout. Hot stock tractors, 2-wheel drives, pro stock 4x4s, 2.6 Pro Street diesel trucks. And then their local classes are stock gas trucks, heavy farm, a 10.5, 5 mile an hour, 95 open, a 95, 8 and 12.5 mile an hour, an 85, 5 mile an hour, a 7,500 Division 3, 4 mile an hour, a 6,004 mile per hour cut and uncut, and a 5,500 4 and 5 mile per hour. So that is a lot of pulling classes there, Mr. Summers. So
It's a lot, yeah. That'll all go on with. I don't think they'll use Bungart sled for that at all. I think they'll use the other sled that they got, unless they start earlier in the day. I'm not 100% sure what time the brush pullers are getting underway. I haven't paid that much attention.
well, I think they're both starting at 6 o'clock, is what Ron said earlier, and
Okay.
And they're just going to run. They're going to run 2 tracks. So
Yeah, they'll get them pretty quick though.
no, that's great.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to the Lear boys. They had some technical difficulty with the tractor, but they were planning on coming down. I need to check in back with them, but they were the top contender to win the distance. And so if they don't come, then if we could talk the Paddock family into coming, then hopefully I think they'd be about the next chance to get the big money. So
No, that's going to be fun. That is going to
Yeah.
be fun.
I think
It's
the
fun.
Roots were considering coming down. Maybe we get them there, and
Okay.
I need to rouse my boys a little bit, see if I can get them to come. But I think we'll probably 6 to 10 4-1s, maybe. So it'll be a good class.
Heck yeah. Well, they went to Bowling Green with their 4-1s to hook in the pro stock class, I found out tonight. So I'm thinking they can make it to Concordia, Missouri.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's,
Jason Goody says, am I saying that right, Bruce? Is it Goody?
Goody.
Goody. 2 X Factor sleds. Both sides start at 6:30 or 6. Their poster says 6, so both X Factor sleds will be there. So
okay, cool. Yeah, nope, it's a good time there. So they put on there'll be lots of good food and everything there, and the colorblind is going to be there, but number one driver is not going to make it. So everybody's going to have to put up with the number two driver. So everybody's probably got a better chance since the number two drivers are going to drive.
Well, I think you're okay at bending the throttle, Ken. Not as good as Sydney, clearly, but
you just wear the pink helmet and no one will know the difference.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll fit or not.
It won't fit his big head.
Hey, Trish is with you.
Hey, Mama, how are you?
Hey, the peanut gallery piped up. So.
Yeah, we went to town and then we got sidetracked a little bit. So we got Mama and Journey with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Trish is training. She's going to be the Ether girl.
And we lost Ken Summers. We are having a fantastic night with technology.
One of these days.
Oh,
say that all again. You left us hanging at Trish is in training. She's going to be the Ether girl.
Yeah, she's going to be the Ether girl. She's going to be the Can-Am driver. She's been practicing all that. She's going to do all that, but this will be her debut on that, and then she doesn't know it, but this is how we're going to get her oriented to be a puller one of these days.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ken, can you see the screen right now by any chance?
Yeah.
So that's Trish's costume to spray the ether into colorblind.
Okay.
Please, dear God, no! Don't put her through that.
She just got out to take the groceries in. I'll be sure to share that with her though. So
please do.
Yeah, you should probably share a screenshot or a picture of her reaction too, and the one finger wave that she gives to Jason.
Hey Summers, if you give Trish some ether, some womp womp juice training this week, can you send us a short video of her just practicing the ether spray?
Yeah. We want to get the tractor out and over, and she's going to get practice pulling around. She's thinking she might want to steer the tractor and let me drive the Can-Am. So I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that'd be a great video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, thanks for jumping on tonight. And then real quick, Buckner's coming up. Let's recap Buckner quick. We'll have you on again next week to talk about Buckner, but we got you on the night. What's going on? I saw you put some bleachers in today, it looked like.
Yeah, we've had those bleachers. We had the two big ones, and the other ones, we welded the rails back on them. They were demoing those bleachers, and they gave them to us. We were like 2 days short. We could have had like 10 sets of those. But so we got 3 big sets. They're putting new boards on and getting them around. Rick Wilson with Will Pave out of Sugar Creek, Missouri. He's a big pulling fan. Him and Billy Roberts of the Gears Unlimited. And Rick went out and poured a 24 by 30 pad today, so we can set 2 scales on it. And so we're getting things around. And we're going to have MSTPA there on one track, and we'll have Outlaw Pulling on the other track. And I think we got it all worked out. Jason will hook us up with the live stream on both sides.
Yep.
It'll be a good time.
It will. So, well, Ken, plan on coming on next Monday night and having better cell phone service, okay?
I will. I'll be in the house when I get on the Wi-Fi. We got new Wi-Fi. You can work from my house now.
Sweet, because when I've been there in the past, it's like being out on the farm. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and we'll send you some video. We get the tractor out here in a day or two.
That'd be great. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, thank you guys.
See you, buddy.
That's Sydney Summers' dad, everybody. For those of you that don't know, it's Ken Summers there. And we had Ron and Brad on from Concordia. And again, that's coming up here this Saturday, August 26th at 6 p.m. The Jimmy Stork Memorial Park. You heard Ron talk about that a little bit. He was kind of breaking up, and but they're going to talk about the memorial for Jimmy. And they really wanted to step this pole up. It's been a brush pole in the past, and they added MSTPA. So 2 tracks, $15 to get in. 5 and under free. It's right off of I-70. It looks like just east of Kansas City. So I want to talk a little bit. We're going to have Ogilvie, Minnesota, and on about 9 o'clock or at the hour. Let's talk about Armada. Did I say it right this time, Charles?
You got it, Armada. That's us. We're the second oldest continuous pull in the United States behind Langford, New York, and we think we do a pretty good job. And we were really proud to bring back NTPA on Sunday for the first time in 13 years, and 2010 was the last time they were there. And prior to that, it was the 1990s since we had them back. And I just, I'm going to be self-indulgent for a moment because it's my hometown fair. Just want to show you, like, I'm not going to try to compare us to Bowling Green because Bowling Green is the king. I was there Friday night and I saw what it's like. But on Saturday night, where I was for our consistent fair, non-sanctioned, nothing to do with anybody, just our classes doing our stuff. Raymond Hall from Ohio, who runs a tractor that would be consistent as a hot farm or pro farm, 510 hot farm down there, came up and paid a visit to us, and happy to have him come along. And his view coming into the arena, we've got a 4-way gate where there's a pedestrian crossing coming into the arena from the hot pit, where when it's closed one way, it's pedestrian traffic. When it's closed the other way, it's passage into the track. And this is what he got to see before he came in. I guess it's not going to let me share it. Well,
give it a second, Charles.
Our arena, probably end to end, is 430 feet, and 365 feet of that is grandstand. I had two.
Charles, is it a drone video you want me to pull?
It's a share screen from my. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
There we go. That's the left side. 360 feet of grandstand. And that's the right side. Another 360 feet of grandstand. I'm not going to tell you it was full. It wasn't. It was probably 75% capacity, but for no affiliation to get that many people, 6,000 people roughly, sitting there watching and screaming their heads off for what you're doing, it's pretty cool, and glad to have that grow again. I've been concerned the last couple of years. We'd seen declining attendance and declining entry as it had gone. We're kind of back to where we were 5 or 6 years ago now, where numbers are and then the participation's there and the enthusiasm's there for what we do where we are. It's cool.
This is a video that's on their Armada Facebook page, their fair Facebook page. So kind of
the arena's got stuff going on every single night. Usually Monday night is a country act that comes in. Rain sort of sucked this year. We pushed them into the beer tent right there. That's the bottom of the screen there in that video. That is the beer tent. That is the largest beer tent east of the Mississippi, and we've got it. Tuesday nights monster trucks. Wednesday nights demolition derby. Thursday is bump and run. Friday's a rodeo, and then Saturday and Sunday we go sled pulling.
I like it a lot. Looks like a good
we had
time.
the NCPA come in on Sunday. Light limited super stock. The Rydell family took that class. Gary Shavink made his first ever super farm pull in the state of Michigan. He won. In the mini rods, a little bit light turnout, but that's okay. The Lacey's took that one. And Mick Broughton, who hadn't pulled in his hometown fair since 1996, and his front door is like 1,300 feet from the announcer's stand. He won it, so that was cool.
Oh, I love it.
And he's running good this year.
He sure is. He
sure is.
Yes, he is.
He was in it for the ring. I was with him and Christine in the pits Friday night while 4-wheel drive was going on, and at the time I got to them, they had it. And just watching the anguish and the concern and the the emotional roller coaster is they lost it. They did. Just wash over them. It was fun to be there for them and to support my friend. I'm sad he didn't get it, but that it was cool to be there with him for it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So Friday night,
Larry-
did he hook like last Friday night? I think.
No,
Or
he
next
was
to last?
he was very early and blew it out, and then everybody started going past him.
Okay.
Okay. How many 4-wheel drive trucks were there, Larry?
Lots.
39.
All of them.
39. All of them.
39.
Oh no, that's not true.
What?
Because we had 30 4-wheel drives in Wisner this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Well,
So-
we had 39. So no offense, we had more.
No
We're
offense.
gonna head.
taken,
We're gonna
Larry.
head into Wasion. They got one hook left, and Jake Zering and Mark Mangan are tied for the lead. So Wasion's going to be a slugfest, which is going to be awesome.
Is Wasion 1 or 2 hooks, Charles?
One. It's one and done. Do it all. I had a great time Friday night there at Bowling Green. I didn't. No camera, no microphone, just
What?
me walking around trying to say hi to as many people as I could, and I got to connect with a lot of people, and I'm very thankful for that. I don't want to mention too many names because I know I'll forget some people, and I don't want to be that guy. But 2 things I will mention, two names I will drop. One is Jake Zering's dog. While you were out there kicking ass, we were entertaining your puppy, who is hyper, athletic, fun. Great dog. Very impressed. If I've got a type, I think I like your dog. Just saying. And then Kevin Prime. I was hanging out with Kevin and his son at the gate into the Northside track when Pro Stock started. And Kevin's dad, Jim, partnered with Lee Butts way back in the day on a modified. And Kevin these days crews with the Fosters with Rob and Carmen on their 4-wheel drive truck, and we were just they were done for the night, and we were just hanging out and having a conversation. We got into an impromptu pick the winners on Pro Stock between myself, Kevin, and his son, and what it led to was us sitting in the stands and actually just being fans and watching the pull and having a great time, which I don't do, I'll admit. And Kevin and I actually had this conversation before we even did it, that we suck at being fans. We want to be hands-on with a competition vehicle. We want to be photographers. We want to be announcers. We want to do something. And we didn't. We just let it all go and had a great time, a fantastic evening.
I love it. Hey, Larry, before we talk about Ogilvy, I got Nate on with us, but Nate likes truck and tractor pulling, so he can listen to some stories. So did Nitro Kenny drive the 2-wheel drive truck then Friday night in Bowling Green? Is this the picture I have on the screen?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He came out of the hole really good, and I thought he was going to make a heck of a run. And then about 150 feet, I don't know whether he backed out of it or what, but he kind of bounced the front end a little bit and quit. About 150, I don't know, less than 200 feet was his official distance, and then Chase proved the next afternoon that the truck was capable because he won the second session of 2-wheel drive. Chase did with the full pull truck. So
With
yeah.
62 trucks, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So the story on Nitro Kenny is he's a former garden tractor puller, friends with Varner. What's the back history on him, Larry?
Well, Eric Varner and him are good buddies, and Eric said that he had driven some of the Nitro Kenny's garden tractors or whatever, and I guess Nitro Kenny's quit driving garden tractors, and since Eric had driven the 4-wheel drive of his uncles last year, I don't know which one he drove. Both uncles have got 4-wheel drives. He decided he would gift that opportunity to Nitro Kenny. That's how he got the opportunity. He was a cool guy. They if you go on the Full Pull Facebook page, I think it's session 4. The live thing. If you watch it on a replay, they interviewed him. He was a lot of fun. Yeah, OJ had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, count down to pull time.
Yeah, countdown to pull time.
Well, Nate Fisher.
My
can you hear us?
producer at
What's that, Larry?
I said the
No, you're
producer
good,
I had at Hillsboro, he had to keep reminding me what to say because, but it went much smoother with the other producers at Bowling Green than the one I had at Hillsboro. They didn't have to FaceTime anybody and ask how to run the dang thing.
Good for them. Well, I think I could do it now without training, possibly, but we'll see. So we will see. Nate Fisher, welcome to Let's Grow Pulling, sir. Can you unmute yourself, Nate? Can you hear us?
Yep, I got you guys.
How are you tonight, buddy?
Not too bad. Yourselves?
Just living the dream. I remember having you on the show last year. Thanks for doing this. You all pumped up about truck and tractor pulling. What do we got going on Friday, August 25th?
Yeah, this week we're all pumped up about it.
Yep. Now you work at the racetrack or you run the racetrack? I can't remember.
Yep, I'm the promoter, general manager of Ogilvie Raceway. Yep, we got a 3/8 dirt oval that we race WISSOTA sanctioned cars on weekly.
Awesome.
And then we have a designated pull track on the bottom of the front stretch for our one pull event every year.
And the crowd comes out for the pull?
Yep. It keeps growing and growing every year, and adding the UPM stuff into it has helped out immensely. And this year we kind of backed off a few of our side of it, our brush pulling classes, and added a couple more UPM classes.
Okay. Good deal. I'm just setting up my scroller across the bottom here. So, how long have you been pulling there, do you think, at the raceway? How long have you been the promoter of the raceway there, Nate?
This is my 15th season. We've been open for 15 years, and we've had a pull for 14 years.
Okay. So, do you see the same people? This is what I like to ask promoter. Do you see the same kind of fans? Like the same fans that come to the races come to the tractor pull, or is it different?
Completely different.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you get a few that I recognize, but for the most part, it's a completely different crowd.
Who drinks more beer, the racing fans or the pulling fans?
Definitely the pulling fans.
Yeah, we gotta represent. Gotta represent. And that's nice to hear.
Sounds like you're making it work where a lot of the. Sounds like you're making it work where a lot of the racetracks that try to have a pull doesn't work because it's not the same crowd and they don't get that word out there and stuff. But it sounds like you're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error, what works and what don't work. I mean, we tried this route for the first time last year, and we seen a huge influx in the crowd size. So I think that was one of the reasons. It doesn't hurt to keep doing it. So.
No.
So is this Besser's hometown pull? Is that how Brandon and Mary get involved with this?
Yep, the whole Besser. It started out with Brandon and his dad and his brother and Mary, and the pull wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I mean, they're the ones that know everything about it. I mean, I know race cars. I don't know a lot about pulling, so but I've learned over the years quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have a pull, and it's been going great. It's been a great relationship with that family over the last 14 years. So everything's going very well.
That's neat. We got to know the Bessers at the Midwest Winter Nationals. Mary sings national anthem down there. Charles announces down there. Ryan goes down, takes pictures.
Amazing, ain't she?
She's very, very,
very, very talented.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I hope she sings the national anthem this Friday night for you, Nate.
Yeah, she usually does every year. So it's one of the things we look forward to about that. And then she does all the registration for the brush pole side. So I mean, she puts a lot of time and work into it, and I can't thank her enough for all that, because I surely wouldn't have time to do it.
I like to hear the fact that you're a raceway and you have a separate track for the tractor pull. Our friend RJ Simon has a race track as well in Farley, Iowa, and they built their pulling track on the inside, and it really keeps everybody happy, because the racers, they have a lot of pride in their track, and they don't want it to get screwed up, and we don't want them standing outside the gate with ball bats beating up all the truck and tractor pullers when they leave, Fisher.
Yeah, so we have our track or our pull on Friday night, and then we turn around. We have our track championship for our race cars on Saturday. So I mean, it's got to all work together. So.
Yep, absolutely.
So this is a busy weekend for you.
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, doubleheader weekend. Yep, it's a busy weekend. Yep.
Pulling starts at 7. Stock diesel pickups, 12,000 improved farm. There's Besser. We might let him on the show. Maybe.
There he is.
Actually, could we just see Mary, Brandon? Is that possible, just to see Mary? And then we got to let him on here.
I stuck away from my party to try join you for a few minutes here.
That's fine. I'm gonna make you bigger than me. So you're up in the left hand corner there. So you're up layer. So Brandon, we were just talking to Nate about the track and everything like that. Nate, so the pool starts at 7. Do you run those stock diesel pickups first, or do you run them after the UPM and TPA stuff?
I don't know what Brandon and Bill's plan is for order of events this year. That's their department.
Oh, we'll kick it off right away with that stuff. We'll get the pickups and the farm stuff out of the way, and then we'll run the UPM.
That 16.5 Improved Farm, is that those Renegade pullers in Minnesota, that hot bunch?
No, it's kind of a group that got started around here years ago.
Okay.
Your bigger farm stock tractors, well, we got a couple 60-30s that run around here that are pretty tough. 1466s, that kind of thing. Some 1566s.
Are these like the Kohouts and some of those guys, or are they in that bonkers class?
They'd be in that other class. This would be a step
Okay.
down from those guys. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, those Renegade pullers in Minnesota, Besser, their videos are all over YouTube and
Oh, yeah.
Facebook. They got duals on, and they sound like pro stocks.
Yep. They're tough.
They're fun to watch. So Nate was saying nice things about you before you came on the show. Nate, do you want to repeat any of those, or do you think Brandon will believe you?
Oh, he'll believe me, or he can go back and watch. But no, he knows. He knows that if it wasn't for them and their family, that this poll wouldn't exist. So, I mean, he not only helps financially, he helps, manual the whole thing. I mean, it like I've said for years, if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be here.
Now, Besser, are these I know it's UPM. Is it NTPA Region 3 or is it state, or how do you guys do the NTPA at the UPM?
It's still a state hook here.
Okay, that's
Yep.
fine.
We've been working on trying to figure out how we can get to that next level. I know Nate always is asking what it costs to get a Grand National in here, and someday hopefully we can get there. Maybe a region poll at some point. We had talked about maybe adding a region class this year when Waiawega had dumped Light Pro.
Where?
Thought maybe there was an opportunity to.
He said it right, Charles. He
Yeah,
said
he did say
Waiawega
it right.
now.
I was just poking fun at him.
Yeah, that's fun. Besser, Waiawega is one of those towns that Spiegelbergs have made famous because every announcer butchers it everywhere, all the United States. So.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It can't be any Ogilvie.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah, nobody can say Ogilvie either. So
How I don't know how, Charles, if you didn't know that was Ogilvie, how would you say that?
Actually, that one I would say as Ogilvie. That one's easy. It's when you get the AUs in the Wisconsin names where you just go, huh?
well, we've had anything from Olivia, Ogilvie. Well, that was in the news. Obviously, everybody had a payday over that one because our own state can't even make signs properly. But we've had a couple of different sayings on the town here, which it don't bother me any. It is what it is. So, but no, when they had dropped Light Pro out there, I had talked with Bill and said, hey, maybe we need to look at adding a region class here for the Light Pro guys. And then all of a sudden it was back in over there. So we kind of missed the opportunity there, but maybe some point down the road, we can turn it into something a little more than just a state hook here.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, UPM is strong, isn't it? I mean, you got 2-wheelers, 4-1s, mod tractors, super stock 4-wheel drive, the semi trucks and the pro farm tractors. Those are going to be good numbers, aren't they?
I think so. The 4-1s have been kind of struggling, but it seems like toward the end of the year here, whether it's where we are, timing, whatever, it seems like we can draw a few more in and have decent numbers. I don't know. We'll see what it's like here Friday night, but everything else, yeah, should be relatively decent numbers there. So
where do they go on Saturday, Brandon?
So UPM is in Corcoran Saturday night.
Okay.
Brandon, it seems like a challenge now all of a sudden. So like Ogilvie.
There you go. There's another one. I've heard that one before too.
So you guys looks like you're north of the cities, about an hour maybe? Is it that far?
Yeah, about an hour and a half. We're about 75 miles straight north of Minneapolis.
I see Brainerd on the map.
Brainerd's another hour and 20 minutes northwest.
Okay, so where's Hutchinson in relation to you guys then?
About 2
Whoa.
hours southwest.
Wow, so you're up there.
Yeah. Corcoran Saturday though, Corcoran's only about an hour and 15 minutes for the guys,
Yep.
so there ain't much space between us.
Yep,
Okay.
and we tried to overlap some classes. That's a big reason why the two-wheelers are up here.
Yep.
They can go to Corcoran then Saturday night, 2 close hooks back to back. So
Well, if you're a puller and you're looking for something to do, and is it north central Minnesota or central Minnesota, Brandon? How do I describe your region?
East Central.
East
Central.
Central.
Yep. I don't want to say it wrong and get in trouble. So,
Well, I won't hassle you too much.
oh, I'm not afraid. I can handle it. So, I can handle it. Otherwise, we can just kick you off the show too, Brandon. We got the button. We got the magic button here. So,
No, that's fine. I
Yeah.
can. I got a gallon of beans here. I can go party with. So
okay. Explain to me why someone would sit there. Most people have an alcoholic beverage when they join the show. Brandon, you bring a gallon of beans. Please,
well,
please explain.
we have our customer appreciation night tonight. So
Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
It's
Mary.
so good to see you.
Hey, nice to see all of you too.
Can you sing the national anthem for us right now, Mary?
No, no,
God.
we're not gonna put you on the spot.
No.
I haven't had anything to drink yet.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It is a Monday. I know you guys don't drink on Mondays in Minnesota, right?
Ha!
Ha. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Brandon or Nate, who are some of the sponsors that help you guys make this thing happen?
Arnold's of St. Cloud stepped up this year as the title sponsor of it, and then also Brandon with Besser Ag Services, and then East Central Corn Growers. Those are the 3 main ones. Brandon, you got a list of any other ones that have stepped up?
Thomas Snow Sports, the Arctic Cat dealer here west of town, they usually kick in a little bit, but other than that, I just haven't put enough time into it this year to round up any other ones.
Yeah, the three that are on the flyer are the big ones, and those are the Thomas Snow Sports. I mean, they should have been on the flyer, but they step up pretty good too. But yeah, Arnold's is new this year, so that's great. I just had a meeting with Sean over there today, and they're all set to bet. So those are the 3 main.
I feel like Nate, they help with Hutchinson as well. So that's good that they're involved in pulling up there. So
Right.
They do. Arnold's helps with Hutch, yeah.
I thought I recognized that. So Brandon, so back to the baked beans. You're having a customer appreciation night and you're serving them beans or what?
Yeah, we had sirloin steaks, pork chops, some potato salad, a macaroni salad, and baked beans. And Mary made I think she made 3 pans of homemade bars, 3 different kinds, and that's all gone. All I'm left is my beans, me and my beans.
So is everybody over at your house, Besser, or what's going on?
At the shop here, yep. We
At the shop.
had probably somewhere around 90 people through the door tonight.
Nate, did you get invited to this, Nate, or not really? Or
Yes, I did get
He
invited.
did.
I did get invited, but I didn't make it back in time. I had prior engagements.
He brought me my tickets. I got to announce tonight that we had tickets for my customers to get into the tractor pull here Friday night. So
awesome.
when he dropped those by, I told him he had to stop by for a steak or pork chop or something, but he was preoccupied and didn't make her over. So
When I heard pork chop and a potato salad, I got hungry immediately, Brandon. I'm not gonna lie to you.
come on over. We got some leftovers here yet.
Yeah, if I leave now, I'll be there by like 3:30 in the morning, so it's not that far. So 2:30.
That'll work. We can start the grill when we get. We'll make you a fresh one.
Larry,
I'll
you want to
I'll be
buzz up to
getting up about
Minnesota for
that time.
supper?
I'll be getting up
Larry?
about that time.
Yeah, you probably will. You probably will.
I got to deliver a load of corn in the morning. I'll be leaving here about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Holy crap. Working hard. Hey, Ryan, I'd like you to ask Brandon and Nate some of them fancy promoter questions that I like so much that you do.
Fancy promoter questions. All right. You guys have been doing this for 14 years. What's the secret?
Oh, boy.
Well, the just fan experience and the big numbers and a good pull track as far as my end goes.
Okay, so what do you do? What do you do? Let's dig into that fan experience thing a little bit, because I hear more and more about that, and we say more and more about that, and how important it is to the show. What is the most important thing for a great fan experience, according to you two?
Well, for my side,
Or more importantly, according to your fans, according to the butts in the seats, what do they love about that poll that they can't get anywhere else?
well, I mean, I don't get around to a lot of polls, so I don't know what else I have to use as a comparison. But our biggest thing is cleanliness, nice, clean bathrooms, good concession food, cold beer.
Yeah, they drink a lot of beer up here.
Yeah, they do drink a lot of beer. My staff, a lot of it has to do with our staff. You know, all of our staff is friendly with all the customers, and everybody's happy. And we have areas that I would assume that not everybody has. I mean, we have indoor VIP suites, we have outdoor skyboxes, we have the Champions Club bar upstairs for our VIP sponsors. So that's the biggest thing. Is just, you know, take care of your sponsors and fan experience and cleanliness and good service, and then put on a good show.
Some of the other things I've heard, everybody talks about the power that we bring to the poll. We try keep classes that fit, you know, with the UPM show. We get a lot of guys that request smaller classes and some antique stuff and different things like that. And with what we're trying to do, you got to keep some fast-paced stuff on the track, and you got to move it through. And we put a lot of vehicles on the track, and we can normally do it in about 3.5 to 4 hours. And after the show is done, we always hear how well it was run, how quick everything got down the track. Most people can bring their kids to this poll and still see the whole thing. We can get it all in, let everybody watch the whole poll, and that really has seemed to work really well the last couple of years, make it into what it's become.
How many hooks do you figure you'll run through there on Friday night?
Oh, it'll be 80-ish, a little better maybe, with everything.
Nice.
I love it.
Good number.
Those are nice numbers. Those are good numbers. Yeah. That's a good show.
We've been in the hundreds before, and that's a little too many.
It gets pretty long.
It can get long. Yep.
How does the crowd react to that, to the Drive Shaft show, or as it's listed on your flyer, the stock diesel pickups?
You know, we really haven't had any drive shaft issues. It's been more guys coming in with their stock Chevy pickups that like to push the front tires into the middle of the pickup.
Ball joints.
Yeah, ball joints. We've lost a couple of them, I think. We haven't ever really had a drive shaft issue.
Oh boy, we gotta make that track tougher. We gotta puke some drive shafts. Is that a big class?
Yeah, I think we had 16 or 17 of them last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and from my from the phone calls and text messages I've been getting and having to send the rules to, I think there might be a few more this year.
We'll have to keep after it, I guess.
That's
Right.
a lot of warranty work at the Chrysler dealer, yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, I hope you guys are talking to the dealerships.
Right.
And
We'll
the
see who
independent
breaks.
guys.
See who breaks the most this year, and then we'll have to go talk to the dealer of that brand and tell them we need some sponsorship for all the work we brought them.
Bingo.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, Nate and Brandon, thank you for coming on tonight. We're hoping you have a gigantic crowd. For those of you that can be in that Central Missouri area, please head to the Ogilvie Raceway this Friday night, again starting at 7 o'clock. You can see the great classes there. Brandon knows what he's doing. Nate knows what he's doing. Mary's going to sing the national anthem, and life is good. So
that's worth the price of admission on its own.
I agree.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. Nate, thank you for letting pulling come into your raceway. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
thanks
understanding how to
thanks
take
for,
care of fans.
Yeah, thanks for helping us promote this too. It's greatly appreciated.
We're happy to be here. We appreciate you. So you guys have a great night, okay?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
take
Thank
care,
you.
guys.
Cheers, guys.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Yeah, bye.
I love the fact that he mentioned cleanliness and stuff like that. That was one thing I
Bingo.
noticed with Don Slama at Hillsboro. They actually clean the toilets in between every session, and they clean out the
Yep.
grandstands. Is that you guys? I mean, I know we think we got a lot going on at these events, but it's the little things like that that truly make it different. And the raceway promoters, they're more into that stuff because they have a facility for that type of stuff. So.
Yep.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, let's talk some Bowling Green. We talked. Iowa State Fair was great. I was there last week, third year. That was the best track they've had at the Iowa State Fair. It was great to see that. As that event continues to grow with that new Elwell Family Center. Wisner was awesome. Very, very hot on Saturday. But I wanted to save the biggest truck and tractor pull for last, Bowling Green. And I want Larry to talk about it. I know Charles there a little bit, but Larry, you've been to how many Bowling Greens, buddy?
32. Only 32 out of 56. And it every year it's bigger and better. And of course the flyover on Saturday evenings, open sessions, and they came back and made a second pass flyover, which is very rare anywhere you get a flyover with the military assembly. But it's all I can say is they do everything right, and the few things that go wrong, nobody knows it because everybody was too busy being impressed with the things they did correctly. But there's a reason it's the largest tractor pull in the world as far as attendance and participation. And once again, they did a heck of a job. The Make-A-Wish auction, which has raised over $1 million over the past several years. It raised $111,000 this year. And we got to see Nitro Kenny run a two-wheel drive. And was it Gerhardt that had the great mullet, you know?
Yes.
They cut his hair. They divided it into 4 parcels. And those 4 locks of hair went for almost 40 grand, like 38,000 something. And of course, that'll go to Locks of Love. It was 16 inches of hair in each one of those. I mean, there's so many different little things going on. Not little, but things going on like the Make-A-Wish auction and stuff. It's just hard to describe it other than, well, the other day, I think I said on the live thing that they have a festival and a party, and that tractor pull happens to break out during it. But if you haven't watched the segments from the countdown to pull time, go back and watch them on Facebook, especially the ones for the campground. I think that was they were surprised when they went back there what they were actually filming. They had to do a lot of a lot of editing was done on the campground footage. But
and how many times did we warn them of that?
Well, I know, but you know, hey, I think I know they were impressed, but in a, I guess, a perverse kind of way. So you were only there Friday, Charles, you say?
Yeah, only Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, Thursday we had the rain delay, which between Bowling Green and Toma, rain doesn't really bother them. If they get a window, they'll prepare the track and you're going to pull. And we had about an hour, a little over an hour rain delay, and got Thursday night started, had a good show. The track was a little iffy for the light mods. Some of those, the crowd complained a little bit, but I mean, they were first class after a rain delay, and Mother Nature waters it so even, you know. But the light mod put a good show on the second time around. They put a good show on the first night too. I mean, but it's like typical Bowling Green. I mean, when you get 60, 70 vehicles in a class, the track changes so many times. However, I think they're probably the best at maintaining the track in 60 hooks from the first hook to be consistent for the 60th hook. It's just, you know, it's hard to describe. It's one of those things
we see the problems and the whatever, but I think it's because guys also they go for the kill tune-up because they understand and respect
Oh yeah.
what the event is. They're trying to go for it. And it's going to be take it to the house
Well,
or push it on the trailer. There is no in between.
Yep.
And Saturday they did the spin the wheel fortune type thing where they give out $10,000 additional over first place money. They did that Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. I mean, it's just it's something a person really needs to witness or at least watch the live stream to appreciate the scope of it and everything that goes on.
I think for Saturday afternoon the wheel landed on Super Farm and the Casey's Whoopie Maker.
Yes.
Got it and won it, and then they came up to Armada with us, and I think they finished second, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on Sunday up here. So
A fun fact about the Whoopie Maker, like when John Pitt still owned it, there was a fat guy in Ocala that drove it with fireproof Wranglers and fireproof Nikes on, Jason. He's kind of a fat guy, and he said, I don't need the head sock. All I need is the gloves, the jackets, and give me the helmet. And I went much further than John Pitt had driven it previously in competition, only because I didn't own it. And after I backed out of the sand at Ocala, I proceeded to go back out. Oh, yeah. And the one guy that they used to call Chicken, his name was Robert, but John called him Chicken. And I said one time, John, why do you call him Chicken? He goes, oh, hell, Larry, everybody loves chicken. Anyway, Chicken said, John, I think Larry beat you. And John says, well, he don't have to fix the dang things why he drove it so hard. I mean, but things like that. But it's a good tractor anyway. But the Whoopie Maker did win. You're right. The 10,000 extra. But yeah, everybody's got it on kill plus a quarter turn because they want that ring, and it's the highest paying purse of any of them. It's just, like I say, it's quite an event.
Brenton Rogers says 72 Super Farms 1 year, basically made a guess and ran with it. What year would that have been?
Yes. Yes. And in that driver's meeting that day, we had 72. I thought it was 74, but I won't argue with him. In the driver's meeting, I said, if anybody knows of another super farm in the United States that's running, get them on the phone. I don't want to miss a dang one. Oh, my goodness.
That would have been around, I don't know, 15 or 16, maybe.
Yeah, because and then we put in the 4-1 Limited Pro and the Light Pro, and those two classes were formed with the intent of breaking up the super farm big numbers, and it worked. And it worked well. And honestly, especially the Grand National super farms, they're primarily from Michigan, and that's about it. But yeah, that was the reason we put in those other two classes, was to try to break that up, and it did work.
What can I say? We got the best water for drinking. Oh, I mean, pulling.
Well, hey, a Wisconsin super farm about 30 miles from my house won it all last year, guys.
Yeah, actually, the same one came up to our fair yesterday and kicked ass. So congrats to Gary Shavink.
Well, and I'm pretty sure it comes out of that Salumbine shop that you're referring to there in Michigan. So
well, maybe I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The Lake Michigan water and the Lake Michigan fuel. I'm not going to say anything. Anyway, yeah. Andy looks like he's saying that he'd like to see Ken Vinny's Funny Little Farmer compete for that 10 grand. The reason that Ken didn't come back on Saturday is because he said, we quit working on motors in the dirt years ago. He says, we'll take it home, get it fixed up, check it out, and be back again another day. But I don't think he blew it up, but he wounded it a little bit the first pass, and
burned pistons out of it.
I was going to say, didn't he burn some pistons out of it?
Yeah, I think it was burnt piston. Yeah, but he said, we don't work on them in the dirt anymore. We'll just take it home and fix it right.
Sure wanted him to get it, and I will tell you, when it came to the mini rods between Ken Vinny and what Ty Miller did, we were getting attention from Brian Loans, who is the lead announcer for NHRA on Fox up in Brainerd. I was talking to him on Saturday. He's like, hey, who sprint card one of those things? What's going on? And How's Kennedy doing? Phil?
Yeah, that's not something we're proud of, but that's the second one this year that went end over end. And we did one in Ocala, the spending their inheritance tractor. And then I asked her the other night, I said, how you like that new chassis? She goes, well, I'm getting used to it. And but she's quite a driver. She was beating on the steering wheel when she did that in Ocala. And the only reason she was beating on the steering wheel is because she knew she'd messed up her tractor. She was not happy that she'd rolled it over. But yeah, it's yeah, you're right. A sprint car. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's funny, Charles. Sprint card that thing. I love the fact that the lead announcer for Fox or NHRA on Fox was that knew about that, Charles. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's like he sent me a message. He's like, I saw it on Facebook. I can't find it. I'm trying to show Pedegron. Where is this? I'm like, well, let me show you. I've got the video on my phone.
Well, Cruz has got a shop here in Brownsburg, Indiana, and sometimes you might see on Facebook. I go to the Checker Flag Tavern, and that. Do you guys remember Lost in the '50s 4-wheel drive? Alan Sneed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
his son Stacy owns that Checker Flag Tavern. You go in there and there might be a full pull, one panel of an NTPA.
That just became
track
mandatory,
marker.
does it? I'm going.
And
That
there
just
might
became
be a
visit.
red and green flag. The backside of the red flag is all burnt where somebody shoved it, tried to put a turbo out. But it's yeah, Bowling Green. When they come to the PRI show, there's Bowling Green stickers in there and the Checker Flag Tavern. But anyway, those guys they were at Bowling Green watching, and it's like I say, pullers never really get it over with. But it's always you can get it in remission, but you can never get it out of your system. Pulling is a disease,
Yep.
But it's a lot of fun, and these guys are just. There's no more fun than Bowling Green, whether it's in the campground, and I can't think of the guy's name. Jason that does the campground report. He did it at Toma, and he did it here. What's his? Anyway, the next day I said, Walker, yeah, I said, did you enjoy the campground last night? And he goes, oh my God, that's all he said. Yeah. But it was an
I'm
awesome
trying to
event.
find.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry, what day did they show the campground report in the video?
The campground report would have shown Saturday first session.
Okay.
Saturday
I'm gonna
first
find that
session.
real
We had 3 videotape segments. Saturday the first session. It was campground report was the first thing in that live. That right there. It was the first thing was the campground, and then second was Nitro Kenny, and then third I did a piece on the Whip Make-A-Wish auction. But yeah, it was just me and OJ on that 4th session countdown. Everybody else was getting ready to be announced, and it was busy.
Do you guys care if I turn the sound on that? We watch the campground report.
I don't care.
Charles,
Go for it.
Ryan,
What could go wrong?
Sure, go
I don't
for
think
it.
anything.
They edited out
It was pretty. It was
nudity.
right away. Hey Cam, turn it down. Just waiting for my computer to catch up. So how many
Great teachers, proud of your grammar.
How many people were there?
Larry, I'm working on.
Larry, how many people were there Saturday night?
Saturday night, it was standing room only.
Yeah.
Saturday night,
Do you know what that number is?
and no, I do not. I know they seat like 25,000, a little more.
Okay.
I did not hear a number. Only number I heard that was important was the Make-A-Wish raised $111,000 at the auction.
That's awesome. So let's watch this here. Is it so? It's right after you guys open it up here, Larry.
On 3 hours of sleep. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Campground.
first segment. Yeah.
This is a campground. They added out everything. No need to come in. No. Well, the one guy said he hadn't been here for 10 years up at the bleachers. He stayed back there partying with his buddies, watched on live stream facility. It is.
On our minds. Campground.
With his buddies, watched on live stream and actually sold the tickets that came with his campsite for the last 10 years.
Well, after experiencing experienced it last night, I think I understand why. So,
Oh yeah, it's a full service facility.
it is. It's great.
So-
It's nothing like it. So yeah, let's check out these clips from last night at the campground.
This is Walker with another campground report. And honestly, Bowling Green has blown away our expectations, blown our minds.
I have been coming out for at least 25 years.
How many times you been to Bowling Green?
4 times.
This is your 4th time?
4th time.
Bowling Green.
10 years in Poleville.
What makes it so great?
Everything about it. Family, the whole like 9. And by the way, Uncle Billy and the War Wagon. Do you know the War Wagon?
Yeah, I know the War Wagon.
Wait a minute.
I know War Wagon.
He lives in where?
Where are you from?
Eric Decker.
Where are you from? Where's he from? Ask the cameraman where he's from. Look right in the camera and say, where are you from? Where are you from? What makes Bowling Green, Ohio, this campground, what makes it so special?
Every camper here. Everybody loves everybody, it seems like.
It's a lot of love in the air.
It seems like it.
Now, these stripper poles here, a lot of love in the air there, too, huh?
Yes, sir. A little later, they're probably going to show some movies.
Could see boobies tonight. That'll be a full pool exclusive, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
For the great times, good memories with friends, shots, and full pools.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen in the Bowling Green campground?
Oh, my. I don't know whether I can do it on my camera, though. It's almost undescribable.
You don't have the words for it.
It's overwhelmingly unbelievable.
War Wagon is going to be a full bowl, and it's going to be amazing at the end of the night.
That's a full pool exclusive. War Wagon's going to be amazing at the end of the night.
The bartender here, Bill, put on a pudding wrestling. They had women in their bra.
Stop. Did he just say pudding wrestling, Larry?
He said pudding wrestling.
Larry?
Yes, he did. Yeah, pudding.
Okay, I had to double check. I don't know if Charles turned his camera off because he's crying or
I don't know.
Oh, I love
We
it.
lost those two. But yeah, they had pudding wrestling. You're correct.
Okay, I just wanted to double check with my Walker. Walker is the man. I love there's a fireball tent in the background. So all right, back to the campground report.
Yes.
Back to the campground report.
They're wrestling and pudding. So there's 3 things that I come back for. 1 party.
Yeah.
2 pools.
Pools, yeah.
3, we come back and visit everybody that we see every year.
It's like a family.
The family is the thing that we come back for, number 1.
Give them a taste of what it's like. Describe this place.
All right, so the campground is a very fun.
Hold on.
I just got hit with a golf cart.
Tasteful place to be.
But this random man gave me a full cup of Tito's, so I will be okay. And he gave me some Tylenol.
You feel better.
I will.
The people that you meet is going to be unbelievably friendly. There's nothing out here that will not bring you back again, guaranteed.
I'm okay. I tried.
You're okay. You cried a little.
I tried a little.
A lot of action here in Bowling Green, Ohio.
I have snatched all of these. I have not done anything but steal beads.
Steal
all
beads.
night.
That's what you do. Steal beads, drink Tito's. What do you think this guy's problem is?
What is he going on about?
I don't know.
Colonizer.
That's a full pool exclusive, Larry. Yeah, well, the campground is kind of a special thing.
It was a good time. Kudos to the camera crew and Walker.
Okay, we're gonna keep watching. We'll just talk. Was there a boat? Did I see a boat, Larry, in the campground?
Yeah, you seen a boat with basically a garden tractor under it. It was stretched. It was a red boat that said International on it, Turbo 1466, and it had a stripper pole in the bow, and it had like flags of numerous things in the back. And yeah, they were driving that around. It was actually parked right behind where I had to park my pickup truck. But yeah, it was unique. Yeah. And
That's
well, all I can say is it's just like organized chaos, but they have a good time back there. And this year they only had, I think, a couple ambulance runs. Other than that, it wasn't bad.
Good deal. Good deal. Charles, I know you said you went down on Friday night. So you just really took in did you watch the whole poll and then just kind of head out because you had to get back to Armada? Or did you get to experience the campgrounds at all? Or?
I did not get anywhere near the campgrounds. I got in literally in the gate just in time to stop in the Champions Row and pay my respects for the national anthem. Tried to cruise the pits as fast as I could and didn't really want to, let any grass grow beneath my feet. Just get to everybody that I could and say hello to as many people as I possibly could. It wasn't until later in the evening when I linked up with Kevin Prime and we wound up in the stands and watching pro stocks. But no, I didn't go anywhere near the campgrounds. I'm 45, guys. Like 20 years ago, I'd been all about it. But now, like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm good.
I love it. Pull Town Nut says our golf cart had a truck air horn and an emergency vehicle light bar. Amazing time. Oh, shoot. Do they still? I've only been out there once, guys. And it's going to be hard for me to get out there because I always have Iowa State Fair in Wisner, and I'm not complaining about it. I can live vicariously through Full Pull and their cool videos. Do they still have that parade of all like the stuff, Larry? I was out there in 2016. And they actually had a parade down the track the night, I think the Thursday night session maybe, and they showed all the cool vehicles like after the poll. Do they still do that?
No,
okay.
You're talking about the custom-made coolers and everything, the haulers or the things they're driving around. They quit doing that when one of the announcers fell off of one of those machines he was trying to announce from and dislocated his shoulder. Yeah, they stopped that. Yeah.
Okay, understood. So, well, good deal. Are there some more videos in this segment, Larry, that you guys did?
The next video that'll come up is Nitro Kenny driving in their interview. I think it's starting right now. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch this.
It's getting ready to start, but yeah,
for being able to
OJ
Nitro
sort
of show his experience from his point of view. Right. Let's take a look at some of the recaps from yesterday.
Cool. Let's watch it.
You got this, Kenny.
And this year, here at Bowling Green, we did a fan experience. We had an opportunity for somebody to get you to actually take a test pass, an exhibition pass behind the wheel of a 6,200-pound, super modified two-wheel drive truck. You get to go and make a pass in that blown Ford Ranger in just a little while. How are you feeling?
Excited, very excited.
Now, your background in this sport, obviously, you do some pulling in the garden scale tracking classes, correct?
Correct. I pulled garden records for 13 years.
Where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, Kentucky.
All right, now, let's talk a little bit about kind of how are your nerves? Or you're going to be cool, calm, and collected behind the wheel, you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected.
That's good. Now, have you ever competed in a garden tractor in front of, say, 15,000 people?
No, I've never had done that.
All right, so we're here. It's finally happening. Kenny's about to go Nitro Kenny. He's in the two-wheel drive. He's getting ready to make his first exhibition pass. Let's go talk to him, see what's going on. Showtime, baby. You ready for this, Kenny? Good. You don't have to talk too much. Get your PPE on. Ready to go. He's ready to go. Says he's ready to go. He feels good about it. Hey, I'm going to see you at the 350 mark. All right. All right, I'm here with Nitro Kenny. He just made his pass here in Bowling Green. How'd it feel?
It felt good. It just my first time, and it bounced on me, and I couldn't hold the throttle steady, and it's a different feel, different from the garden tractors. That's for sure.
I mean, it's tough with no practice, right?
Oh, it's tough with no practice. It's like shooting in the dark. So.
Yeah. But I mean, you looked like you backed off of it in time, and you looked like you were in control. I saw you tried to hammer it back down, maybe like you could get out of it, but it felt pretty good.
Well, yeah, the throttle kind of felt funny in my arm, so I done the best I could do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it was the best thing. So
awesome. Well, I mean, it tells you a lot about the drivers, right? I mean, It takes time, it takes practice. You got to get a feel for it. It's not anybody can just jump in the back of that thing.
Oh no, and on the same way with the garden tractors, you're not going to jump on it the first time and go down the track.
It takes some time to figure it out.
Yeah, it does.
So, still.
Opportunity, and thank you, Eric Barner, for passing it on and giving me the opportunity.
Just come back and win next year.
All right, I'll try.
All right, with Nitro Kenny, Bowling Green.
That's just a cool contest, and that was neat that Eric Barner kind of gifted that to somebody who'd never been to Bowling. Got
great experience
at Bowling Green before, so that's pretty cool. So, yep.
Yeah.
Tyler says next time they'll have to put him in the mini. A rookie and a mini. So, well, that's cool. Well, guys, it's been a long week for all of us. Yeah, Charles will drive a mini. Charles will drive a mini.
Charles wants to drive the mini.
Yeah. I want to thank Greg Rasted. Let me drive in his little 1050 V-twin garden tractor in Wisner Saturday morning. That was a hoot. I did enjoy that. That was a pretty good little ride. And 12,000 RPMs. That's singing, Charles. He said, just mash it. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Send it. No, it's whatever the gauges say. It's just a number.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
I used to check gauges as I went on the track. If I had oil pressure and it was running, I really didn't look at the gauges after that. After you get done, you make sure you still got a little oil pressure left. And if you don't, it'll quit running soon.
Yep.
The very first
Jason,
time
I wanted to go. I sent you pictures of your tractor you bought, Jason, the Micro Mini or whatever it is. But I didn't get to watch it run. I went over there twice and didn't get to watch it run, but they had a bunch of them out there, and they had a heck of a crowd watching them too.
Somebody said that my tractor got second place. So Charles, I don't know if I told you, but I had an RC puller built just like the Remedy.
I saw somebody I saw a video of somebody carrying that around. I did see that.
Yep, and then there's a family from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, a couple hours from me, Charles. It's Barazanik, I think I say their last name. I butcher it. It's kind of like Ogilvy, but they go all over. They go all over pulling it, and I just gave it to them. I haven't even seen it in real life yet, Charles.
It's cool. It's a faithful reproduction. Did a good job.
That's very cool.
But I know they got second place with it.
Tractor.
So, but I had the place wrap it that actually wrapped the big tractor too. So it looks pretty identical to it. So
yeah.
Yep. I think it's in the super stock class, I think is what they told me. I'm not 100% sure, but they're fun. Those are remote control pullers.
Dude, I went to one back. I went to one back in the spring, and I'm going to go again to one probably I think this fall. And I mean, like it's something else what they can do, especially the electric ones. I mean, the tires will grow like, oh, it's crazy. Spin them right off the rims. They turn them so hard. It's something else.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, guys, I'm going to go to bed. I appreciate you coming on, Larry. It's so fun having you on Monday night and bringing your perspective in with all of this. We really appreciate this as well. And yeah, you guys have a good week. Let's see, Charles, what do you got going on this weekend? You got Shides?
I am going to Shy Diesel Extravaganza. I will be on microphone over on the concrete side, doing the drag racing, and my good buddy Leroy Schluter will be handling stuff over on the dirt side. When we get done drag racing, our curfew roughly 6 o'clock each night on drag race side. I'm going to head over to the dirt side with my daughter Allie, and we're going to hoist cameras in our faces and shoot all the pictures. So if you don't want a candid of you, keep your helmet on.
I know. I'm pretty sure Coltrane Energy Drink is coming down there. Charles, I talked to them last weekend, so make sure you go grab yourself one of those. They're pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, I'd like to try some.
Larry, what do you got going on this weekend, bud?
I'll be doing the Mech Center in Shipshewana. I'll be announcing that event. On the 26th, they do it outside. The same dirt they haul inside the building for the March pull.
Okay.
In the January pull, they haul outside. It'll be out there in the parking lot. They have a big event. I'll be announcing that show.
Awesome. I'm heading to Madison, South Dakota on Saturday, and then the Nebraska State Fair on Sunday. I'll be helping with outlawpulling.tv. And then full pull is going to have games up for Wellington, Ohio, which is NTPA, and then as well as Madison, South Dakota, Nebraska State Fair as well. So keep playing that. And I know they're working on the app. I know the app isn't perfect. They know the app isn't perfect, but I know they're making some upgrades to it and getting things like that. And Adam, yeah, I actually talked to him. She mentioned to me, Abby Loganville, the owner, mentioned that she talked to Built Diesel Mafia about some Coltrane stuff. So I was happy to hear that. I said, Adam is a good dude. So
here's a fun fact. We ran out of T-shirts. We ran out of T-shirts Friday night. We had just a handful left for Saturday morning. Download the app. Come get a free full pull T-shirt. Ran out of T-shirts very, very early on Saturday morning, and just didn't have any left. So it was awesome. I mean, the participation, people downloading the app, it was a good deal.
Awesome.
Let me throw this out there. One thing I want to highlight. I know that Friday night NCPA has pro stocks at Wellington, and if you're in the points chase, I hope you go. I hope you do well. Saturday, there's nothing for you. Come to Wagler Motorsports Park, Lyons, Indiana, Shy Diesel Extravaganza. Let's have a pro stock throwdown. I want it so bad. Let's do some stuff.
That'd be awesome, Charles. Charles, Wagler's deal at the end of September. Do you announce that as well?
Yeah, the October. Yes, I will be back there. That is now the de facto ODSS season finals. So I will be there announcing the drag racing, what my participation will be on the sled pulling. I don't know. I reckon it'll probably be Leroy on the sled pull side, but I'll train a camera there as well.
Well, we're live streaming that on beermoneypulling.tv. So I was hoping you were going to be there.
Yeah, I definitely will be there. I have to cover the drag racing side, but for whatever the sled pulling, I'll be on the property.
Yeah, no, we talked to Jeremy, or Doug did, and we're going to be out there. We'll stream that. I think it's 2 nights of pulling, right? The Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a 2-day deal.
It's into September, Charles. Is what he said.
Yeah, I think it's. Hang on, I'll tell you.
I think it's the 29th and 30th, Charles.
Sounds right.
Week after Angeli pull off, isn't it?
I think it's 2 weeks after. No, yeah, it is. It is Leroy or Larry. Sorry, Jesus, what a day. I don't know people's names anymore.
29th and 30th, and it's yes, you're right, 100%.
Okay, that's a Wagler Fall Nationals. Adam said that. Yep. So we'll be streaming that on beermoneypulling.tv as well as the Diesels and Dark Corners this year. So super excited to bring that to the masses with our streaming. So I'm gonna let you guys go, but I want to share the video that Chandler and Mackenzie and Kaya, the Outlaw TV, Beer Money Outlaw TV team put together for Wisner. I'm kind of proud of this. Not so much of my ugly ass, but the rest of it is pretty good. So I'm gonna make that full screen. Larry, so I really appreciate you coming on Monday nights. It's great. Charles as well. Ryan wasn't feeling good, so he bowed out when he did, and then Cody wasn't feeling good. That heat, I'm telling you guys in Wisner was freaking real. That was insane on Saturday. So shout out to all the fans.
Well, I'll see you guys later.
Yep. Take care. See you, Charles.
See you, Larry. See you.
Welcome, Outlaw Trucker and Tractor Pulling fans, to Wisner, Nebraska. Thunder by the River, the biggest pull in the state of Nebraska. The third weekend of August every year. In a town of 1,200 people, hundreds of outlaw truck and tractor pullers converge to this beautiful panoramic setting with 5,000 horsepower diesel super stocks, multi-engine modifieds, four-wheel drive screaming trucks, big womp womp pro stock tractors, and you get to enjoy this all on outlawpulling.tv. As we walk along where the pullers sit in the trees, and this, Dave, this is really what makes this venue amazing.
This is the culture.
Yeah. So when people say Thunder by the River, it's hard to explain. Look, my dad always said you just put a bunch of cottonwood trees, and then until you get here and you see it and you hear it, it's beautiful. This is what makes it. How long, Kurt, have you been coming to Thunder?
I've been coming since year one. I think they're on 18 years now.
18 years? Yep. That's amazing. So what does it mean, Kurt, to have like these big events like your Rock Valleys, your Iowa State Fairs, your Wayne, Nebraska? There's some, like we talked about this a lot. There's you don't have to say the state. Rock Valley, everybody knows it's Iowa. Yeah. Wisner, everybody knows it's Nebraska. What does that mean to the Outlaws and to an association to have these premier events like this where people literally, like, before they leave today, like, what are next year's dates? And they're already requesting those dates off of work. What's that mean for an organization?
I think a lot of it is if you walk through the pits, there's a lot of campers at Wisner. There's a lot of campers at Rock Valley. They're bringing their families. They're bringing their grandkids. And that's the family vacation for the year. Yeah, it's based around tractor pulling, but it's the venues, the things to go see during the day in the park. But it's the family event that it brings.
Well, follow us as we make our transition to where the pullers go, heading up to the track. As they spin around, and Dave, as you're staging everybody back here, yep, it's kind of crazy almost. It's just like lines of vehicles between all the trees as they do all of that.
They kind of intertwine through the trees, and I've got Susan down here below. I'm up by the sled because it almost takes two of us, of somebody up there watching and timing, and somebody getting them started and bringing them up. But they just kind of keep coming up out of the trees, if you want to say. There's lights back here, but they just kind of keep evolving out of the trees, and it's fun watching a diesel truck start, or a diesel pickup, diesel tractor, a diesel super. Just that smoke that feels a cloud in these trees. It's a pretty neat sound.
It's amazing. And Wisner keeps adding. I mean, two awesome tracks, but you look at the other end and you shoot any video of that with the skyboxes this year. I mean, they keep on making this event better, as does Rock Valley, as does the Iowa State Fair. Macon, Missouri is another one that we just came from.
Wayne, Nebraska. But we've got a lot of sites really stepping up saying we want to be a premier event.
And venues are going and visiting other venues to get new ideas because they want to be the best of the best. It's a fun, friendly competition, but at the end of the day, they want to be that pull of the year.
Yeah.
And get that.
Yeah. We've got one promoter saying, okay, who else is in my group? Because I want to start evaluating what they're doing.
I know who that guy is.
We all know who that guy is.
I think I talked to him yesterday. So
we've all talked to him yesterday.
Thank you for watching on outlawpulling.tv. We appreciate you.
Follow us, Thunder by the River.